This scene of farmers praying is a video that Donald Trump definitely does not want you to see, and I have their story and the desperate alarms they're sounding at Trump coming up next. In another video that the Donald definitely doesn't want you to see, CNN's Harry Enton breaks it down with mentions of weak, the wrong track, and very, very bad. Have a look for yourself at Trump's tragic trajectory.
I would just say this: Donald Trump was hired or rehired to fix the economy, and Americans don't like what's cooking with the economy. They think the economy is weak, weak, weak. What are we talking about? U.S. economy is getting worse. You go back to November of 2024, it's 42%. Look at where this number is now in September of 2025.
This is September.
This is September.
Right now.
This is right now, 56%. And get this, just 27% of Americans think the economy is getting better. 27 is much lower than 56. 56, the clear majority of Americans think the economy is getting worse. This is no bueno.
That's the economy. What about jobs specifically?
Okay, so, we've been talking about the economy generally, and oftentimes when we're talking about that recently, we've been talking about inflation. But let's talk about jobs, because jobs is becoming a weak point in the minds of the American public. On jobs and unemployment, we are on the wrong track or the right track. Back in January, the plurality said right track, 40%. Wrong track was 32%. This is a very worrisome trend, not only for the U.S. economy, but for the White House as well. Look at this. The wrong track leaps up to 48%. The right track down from 40% to 33%. Now the clear plurality of Americans think that we are on the wrong track when it comes to jobs and unemployment. The right track, look at that, going from 40% to 33%. That is very, very, very bad.
Really quickly, the big question is, the president has been trying to push off blame on who's to blame when bad economic numbers come in. How do Americans feel Trump is doing?
Okay, so this to me is, if you're in the White House, what a worrisome trend. Okay, net approval, jobs and employment, December of 2024. Joe Biden was underwater at -8 points. Donald Trump gets in, he goes up, +9 points net approval on jobs and employment. But look at where Donald Trump is now, -13 points. What is that? That's a 24-point drop since January of 2025. And get this, Donald Trump was hired to fix the economy, but when it comes to jobs and employment, look at that, -13. That is worse than Joe Biden was doing in December of 2024. Joe Biden, who of course was in the basement, and yet Donald Trump is even lower down than him. You can barely get an elevator that goes that low, Kate Baldwin.
Donald Trump was not going to like that comparison.
No.
So with confidence in Trump spiraling, let's revisit those farmers in Arkansas. What is going on there that is so bad and has them so desperate? A town hall style meeting with state representatives transformed into a prayer session.
Almost everything that could go wrong for Arkansas farmers did go wrong this year. And it's so bad that many are facing bankruptcy or even the closure of farms that have been passed down for generations. A dismal global market and plunging commodity prices mean there's little to no hope of breaking even for many farmers, even as sky-high input costs rise because of inflation and now tariffs. Not to mention bad weather earlier in the year.
This time last year, the rice price was about 40% higher than it is now. The inputs costs have gone up. So after a horrible year last year, where most farmers in Arkansas Delta lost money, this year's going to be worse.
Though President Trump's big, beautiful bill provided a much-needed update to safety net subsidies for farmers, they won't see those federal dollars until late next year, by which time some have projected that as many as 1/4 or even 1/3 of Arkansas farmers will face bankruptcy or be forced to leave the business amid the crisis the American ag economy is currently in. It's already taken its toll this year.
I'm a sixth-generation farmer from Newport, and we made a decision to go out this year in the spring. So my son will not be the seventh generation on our farm.
5 of my customers have committed. That's how serious that this is.
Today, Arkansas farmers gathered to share their struggles with staffers from the state's congressional delegation, pleading for Arkansas lawmakers on Capitol Hill and the governor to convince President Trump to provide emergency funding to help them make it to next year.
We have to have ad hoc payments right now to make it through this year.
If there's no emergency funding this year, there will be 1 out of 3 farmers will file bankruptcy.
Until the federal government steps in to save them, farmers have no one to turn to but God.
Farmers, in my opinion, dear Lord, and it's only my opinion, are closer to thee than anyone else on this earth because we deal with your earth every day.
This is what happens when you put a celebrity con man in charge of the economy and responsible for the livelihoods of the folks who feed us. Donald Trump promised to make America great again, and many voting farmers in Arkansas believed him. But instead of prosperity, they got tariffs, trade wars, instability, and a very bleak future. A sixth-generation farmer said her son will not be the seventh. And we heard the grim account of 5 farmers who reached the ultimate act of despair. These are men and women who literally nurture America, begging Trump to keep them from going under. That's the expensive human cost of his failed economic game. And where's the Donald while all of this unfolds? He's busy denouncing the Epstein files as a hoax, hosting elites at the White House, and benefiting from the family's latest billion-dollar crypto scheme. Today it's farmers praying, and tomorrow it'll be another group that has been devastated by tariffs, Doge, or another destructive policy by the unabashed and unremorseful Trump. I'm Dan. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think with a comment below, and let's continue to occupy democracy together.